literally didn't know who he was.
Anthony Crimmins here, Stickstar Productions. We got the background music just lingering. But I kind of liked it. It was a great intro. Segue into the main event. LSA D1 Championship action about to get started here in a second. We've got two undefeated teams. SMU undefeated all year. Texas State undefeated in league play this year and last. And now it all comes to this. Again, my name is Anthony Crimmins, and I'm joined by Mike Galvin once again. Mike, give us your thoughts here briefly on what we can expect to see today.
Thanks, Anthony. This is, like you said, the matchup everyone's been really wanting to see. Even coming into the weekend, we knew these two teams were likely the ones that we were going to see when it all came down to it. I think we got some key matchups here today. The first one I would like to highlight is two players who probably won't get within 10 yards of each other, and that is our two goalies today, Adam Connolly and A.J. Anderson. Both these guys made some really great saves yesterday, and I could see either one being the X factor. I believe Adam was named the MVP and AJ was second team all-conference. So AJ's got something to prove here today, and so does Adam as the reigning MVP. A lot of eyes are going to be on both of these guys, and both of their teams are going to need them if they're going to want to win today.
Absolutely. We're going to take a brief break here while we recognize the United States of America. Go time. LSA Championships. D1 title is on the line. The defending LSA champs, the Bobcats of Texas State, taking on the number 20 MCLA team in the country, in all the land. The Ponies, pony up. The Mustangs, SMU. This is going to be tremendous theater today. We outlined the goalie matchups. What else are you looking to see here today, Mike?
Another matchup I'm looking at is at the face-off X. We saw Texas State really have a lot of success in the second half of that game against LSU, and I think that was really the difference. Not only winning face-offs and turning them into goals, but making the other team play defense every time before they even get a chance to touch the ball. What about you? What matchups are you looking at going into today?
I'm looking at the explosive SMU offense versus the vaunted Texas State defense. I think, and then conversely, Texas State's offense versus SMU's defense. Both great, both great on their respective sides of the ball. I just think SMU does such a great job applying pressure offensively with their individual matchups, whereas Texas State is going to look to share those responsibilities. They are not going to put their guys on an island like Texas A&M did yesterday. They're going to look to slide, rotate, recover roughly 1 million times and force SMU to move the rock.
I think a lot of these defenses have a lot in common. They both have good size. They both look to stretch out and pressure and try to really speed up the offensive team before they can get into what they want to do. Another thing they both do is play very physically. We saw yesterday a lot of flags, so it'll be interesting to see if either one of those teams try to make an adjustment, try to spend less time in the box today.
Again, no love loss here between these squads. All whites for SMU and all blacks for Texas State. There's the first face-off. Weir had it initially, couldn't get the GB. He jumps off, and SMU maintains the first possession. Here's Zane Zoda guarding Garrett Cantrell.
And this will be a good matchup to watch all day. Garrett Cantrell is a very physical dodger, and Zane Zoda is not afraid to go and throw some takeaway checks and really try to put the ball on the ground.
SMU settling into their first offensive possession of the game. Yesterday, SMU, when they were playing A&M, was very efficient with their first couple of possessions, scoring early and often. Here's Texas State taking away top side, getting their guy sideways. That's a good job by 11, beating his man on impact.
And great save by A.J. Anderson. Thomas Garrett really likes to come off of that dodge and get a sidearm high to high, so that's a good job by A.J. Anderson staying up and being ready for that one.
Oh, double.
And they get there, but Garrett Cantrell gets through it anyways, gets the hoop and the harm.
That's tough. That's a good double.
Yeah, they got exactly what they were looking for right there. It looked like Texas State was swinging for a little too much stick and not getting enough body because he was able to slip right through there.
When you are looking to squeeze that double, you want to have your stick out, but you want to turn people with your hands. When you bring the stick up and down, that's when you are giving them an opportunity, like Mike said, to get in between. That's a great individual effort there by Garrett Cantrell.
And SMU will go man up because of the incident after the goal.
There's Blake Weir taking a procedure.
Face-off violation, so Texas State is now 0-2 in an area we thought might be a strength for them today.
SMU going uppers. They get their units onto the field. SMU does a great job moving the ball quickly and then finding the skips. Moving the ball. Here's a rotation. Now they reverse it. They're moving the ball very quickly. That's the skip we were talking about. They get the rotation.
And great recovery by the defense right there. It looked like he was about to put one in. Oh, and they find one off the ground.
That's another good defensive play, but then ball gets on the turf. SMU gets it up, move the ball to the pipe, and that's Schultz getting one early.
And sometimes when you're playing against a good defense, it's not always going to be pretty. You're going to have to be a little opportunistic, find them when they're out of sorts, maybe not matched up. They did a good job moving the ball off the ground quick.
State still looking for their first offensive possession of the game. SMU, right where we thought they would be, firing on all cylinders.
Weir with the great face-off. See if Texas State can retain possession. They're going to look to pressure early. And he turns to the inside. Might have an opportunity to press here.
Makes the smart play, moves the ball through X.
Still
Turn the
has the
corner.
advantage.
Here's Dylan Lemon with the ball.
Ooh, and an errant pass.
It's an unforced turnover. SMU looking to extend their 2-goal lead.
And that was really a missed opportunity for them to take some of this momentum back here. SMU will settle in. Based on the matchups we're seeing today, I would expect them to initiate the bulk of their offense through the midfield.
SMU moving the ball around. I really think number 11 for SMU is a difference maker. Thomas Garrett, he's strong lefty, can definitely beat his man with a great first step.
Oh, and another finish.
There's Schultz.
This time it's Schultz.
Quick 3-0 lead here for SMU. It's all ponies early on.
And they showed us yesterday. They got the offensive firepower to put up some points.
And then this is a little bit different kind of start for SMU from yesterday. SMU scoring early and often and extending the lead. Yesterday they were down early, which was a little different for them. Here's Weir getting a face-off. Again, Texas State really hasn't settled into any offensive rhythm. They haven't played very much offense.
Yeah, they've had very little possession time so far. This will be an important time for them to not only give their chance for their defense to regroup, but they really need to get something on Cage and at the very least make this goalie work on this possession.
They haven't registered a shot yet. Move the ball down the alley. Look to go through X. Short hop that pass.
And much like yesterday, we see Texas State is elected to take the short stick behind the cage, and they get a good look. Will they back it up? Ref says they do.
That's Chandler Locklear, the freshman out of Magnolia. Set a pick behind. Get to
Gets
the island.
And great save by Connolly. Jacob Martin getting himself into all sorts of trouble, sneaks out, and nearly misses.
That looked like a ominous spot on the field to be on.
That looked like a no, yes. Gets his hands free, shoots it wide again. And this is a much better possession for Texas State.
They're getting tons of opportunities. Right now, if you're down 3-0, what are you going to talk to your team about?
Well, to really just stick with our game plan. Just because we're down 3-0 doesn't mean everything has changed. These games are 2.5 hours long, and momentum is going to swing more than once. So really, the worst thing they can do is, not be themselves, try to do something they're not used to doing. They really need to believe in what they've done to get themselves here and stick with it.
Here's Chandler Locklear, just taking the swipes.
Interesting matchup here. Gets his hands free and finishes.
The freshman leans on him, gives him a little hard left plant, beats the man top side, and then stings it on the tendy. That was Texas State's best offensive possession, kind of demonstrating what Texas A&M gave to SMU yesterday, which was a steady dose of attacking from behind the goal. And we've got Texas State with their first goal. It's now 3-1.
Yeah, I think both of those teams decided they don't want to be dealing with Adam Connolly shooting from the outside. They're trying to get inside rolls. And if they can't get that easy one, they want to get a step down off the adjacent slide from SMU.
There's Blake Weir with the face-off.
And shoots.
Goalie got a piece. SMU looking to play the substitution game.
Oh, maybe a turnover. Able to retain possession. It's going to be a very important part of the day is who really takes care of the ball and makes every one of their possessions count.
It really is important, especially when you're here at this part of the season. That's when you get to the middle of the field, it's important to have a plan.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's you beat the first guy. Chances are not going to be able to beat the second guy. Need to know what you're trying to do. Here is
long pass.
And this is another part of the game that we talked about. Wow, that's Jake Hamilton.
Great pass fake. Hamilton does a lot for this Texas State team. Not only is he one of their most solid defenders, but he can get involved in the transition game and the ground balls as well.
He's a kid who's a champion. He obviously won it last year. And this is actually, fun fact, Jake Hamilton's third championship to play in a row. He played this year Texas State, made it to the championship. Last year Texas State won the championship. Year before that, played for Keller, D2 champs. Kid is a champion.
It's the kind of guy you want on your team. Someone who's going to act like they've been there before and not freak out at the big stage.
Moxie. Tons of moxie. Here's Texas State trying to work through some progressions offensively.
Oh, and Connolly with two huge saves in a row.
You're going to call him in the crease.
I believe so, yeah. That first save was good. Shot was probably ill-advised, but the second save was great because sometimes the garbage is the toughest thing to deal with.
And this is the
Texas State will look to pressure here.
The ride versus the clear. Here's Cole Ogden. He's a champion as well. That's a big play there by Zane Zoda.
That's two successful rides in a row by Texas State.
So that's another way that you increase your possession time. You win the face-offs, right? But then, second chance opportunities. Now you ride it back. Another opportunity. More possession time. If you win face-offs, you ride the ball back. You know, now you're starting to limit what the other team can do.
That's right. Endurance is going to play a big part of today. Both of these teams played tough games less than 12 hours ago, or less than 24 hours ago.
That's another tough shot there by number 41, Adam Pac-Man Jones.
Connolly's being tested early, and he's showing he's not letting anything easy in.
That's another shot by Jones. He's taken the last three in a row. Bucky Desideer boxes out. We didn't see much from Bucky yesterday.
Surprisingly quiet day for the All-Star.
He's going to see the number one matchup, but this is a matchup that you have to value, but you have to be excited about because he's a senior and the guy who's guarding him is a freshman. Cam Farr, obviously very skilled, very talented player.
It looks like the refs are going to let him play a little bit more today. We've gone some time without a penalty.
There's more steady dose of invert. This is a good job of corralling the ball. SMU, efficient early. Three finishes, bang, bang, bang. Garrett Cantrell. That's a big save.
Another save by Connolly.
Oh, they're going to call that for a moving pick.
Yep, I think he got him a little bit late.
And they called him for a delay. Clint Bond asserts himself early.
Big mistake there by the Bobcats. You can't make, the ref basically by the letter of the law has to make that call. If you roll it backwards at all, you are delaying the game. Right thing to do there, put the ball down. Even if you try to throw it to the other team and they miss, you can still get called for a delay.
And here is SMU's second man up opportunity. They converted on their first.
And that was a huge break for them because they had been having a very tough time clearing the ball.
3-3. State going with the 5-man rotation. Force them to rotate once. A.J. Anderson, has he made a save yet today?
We saw one earlier. I think that one got deflected in the crease. I think someone got pegged. Hands free with the lefty, and another save by A.J.
Anderson stared that one down. That's a big GB. I think this kid is the intangible. What a play there. A.J. Anderson coming out of the goal. Take away top side.
I think they're going to call SMU for stepping offside, which is curious because we probably should have gotten a play on there.
Tough pass right there next to the box.
Yeah, very careful there.
They kill the penalty, though. Well,
a couple of very nice plays by A.J. Anderson there. Looks like both of these goalies are come here today ready to put in some work.
Here's Locklear again initiating from X.
Draws the double, see if he can get it out.
Hits him with the okey doke.
SMU does a good job of being aggressive on that dodge there.
Dylan Limoncello with a nice little move there. Again, steady dose of invert. State enjoys the contact. They like carrying with pressure. Not scared. They move the ball through X. Look to attack the step down on the backside. Elliott Smith doing a good job initiating, but then they throw the ball away.
Be interesting to see if Texas State lays back or if they try to pressure again around the midfield.
Looks like they're going to concede this one. SMU's getting some numbers. He's going to step this big guy,
save.
AJ, all over it.
And he's going to want to move the goalie there. He doesn't have a ton of angle, and high to high is just not going to work on a goalie that caliber.
They do a good job holding on that break. Alsadek laying the lumber and then chatting with the ref. Here's State with the ball again. SMU, great defensive unit. Success built on the strength in goal. Adam Connolly from St. Luke's in New Canaan, Connecticut.
We'll see Bucky take a run.
Desidier swings it over the top.
Jacob Martin with an ambitious one, but maybe avoided a stall for the team on that one.
Possession shot. 3-1, SMU up. Let's reset real quick. Anthony Cremens, Mike Galvin here bringing you Stick Star Productions coverage of the LSA Championships. We've had an exciting weekend. This is our 6th game of coverage, and it's going to be great. Move the ball up. Look to move the ball through.
Don't generally want to skip the ball unless you're throwing it to a guy in shooting position.
Yeah, and Connolly was all over that, and then that's another great play right there by SMU. They pick it off. They force them to rotate. They attack the rotation.
Another
Schultz.
save by A.J.
Anderson.
Much like yesterday, A.J.'s really bailing him out when some of the other aspects of the team aren't going well.
J-Ham just shaking him down.
He's not fast, but he's got moves. Fans want the call, but I like that he's holding on to it there. I think that's a brush.
Yeah, that's a brush. They are not having it, though.
No.
Too many more like that, though. The parents are going to wear these refs down. Erosion, attrition. Here's Chandler Locklear, freshman.
Another save by Connolly.
Goalies giving us their A performances.
And SMU looks to push here. They might have a break.
To Cantrell. Cantrell to Schultz.
And he's too wide.
And another save.
I believe he's in the crease, but Texas State will look to counteract. Step in.
That's another
very risky pass, unnecessarily risky.
Want to keep that ball opposite the box. The box is where the contact comes from. 3-1. 1:35 left here in the first quarter. It started out with a lot of goal scoring for SMU, but it's kind of settled in here. Some good plays by both teams. Defensively, Texas State probably doesn't feel too bad about what they were doing defensively. Some bad breaks. SMU able to capitalize early.
And we've already seen the two styles of each team. You know, SMU really wants to run and gun, and Texas State is happy to play a slow it down, grind you out with their defense type of game.
They're definitely possessing.
Got Adam Pac-Man Jones here.
Pick over the top. Jones again. Throwing the Dirk digits down. That's a tough spot on the field to throw it to, because even if he catches it, what's he going to do with it? He's turned the wrong way.
Yeah, and he's probably 15 yards from the cage either, so it's not a great place to shoot. Just like skipping the ball, you don't really want to throw it inside if there's no real reason. It's not going to come out with the goal. Might as well just keep the possession.
22 seconds left.
Texas State will hold for one. Another save by Connolly.
That's not going to go on him.
No, he's made some very good saves in this first quarter, but Texas State is adding to his confidence by lofting them in from deep.
3-1, SMU up at the end of the first quarter. What do you think about the first quarter there?
Well, it's pretty interesting. SMU did a really good job of coming ready to play and jumping out there and getting to an early lead. They got an unbelievable goal by Garrett Cantrell beating the double team, and then added another one because of the penalty after that. Texas State kind of asserted their will a little bit on the faceoffs and was able to get some more possessions and some more shots, but so far it hasn't translated on the scoreboard. If you're Texas State, what kind of adjustments are you looking to make in the second quarter?
I am going to continue to attack their short sticks behind the cage. I think we need to figure out where they're going to slide from, and then try and attack their rotation. And then you just got to figure out what kind of looks that you're trying to get. Am I going to settle for looks from the outside on the alley dodge? I don't think so. Probably not.
Yeah, Connolly's been eating those up all day, and I think you're right. If they dodge from X, they're giving themselves a better opportunity to maybe either catch and shoot or find an inside roll and put those middies in a position where they're not used to playing defense.
Again, I think it's really important for both teams to value possession. Value possession. You can value possession a couple of different ways with shot selection. A bad shot against a quality goalie is a turnover. And against Connolly, that could be a turnover and transition going the other way. So what does that look like? Possession is also affected at the face-off X, but also in the clearing game. We've seen Texas State dispossess the Ponies several times in the clearing game, so that's important. Again, this is going to be a very tight matchup. SMU capitalizing on opportunities early.
And it's very likely going to be whichever goalie breaks first, because right now both of them don't want to seem to let anything in.
And that's
we are working extra hard here.
They went with the LSM.
Cantrell slips a double team again.
Cantrell initially, it was thought that he was going to head over to the Longhorns, but he obviously went to SMU, and he has been very good all year. Here's another freshman for SMU, Peter Cordill, St. John's grad, playing for legendary coach Sam Chambers.
Texas State is able to put the ball on the ground, but SMU retains. They'll look to move it and attack again right away. Lefty, big save by AJ. He saw that one the whole way.
Unbelievable shot. Great save.
Really put it exactly where you want to. Made the goalie get lateral and low, but he was there and ready to go.
Here's SMU with their ride. They're bumping. Here's a transition opportunity.
He's got the 4-on-4 if he wants it. Oh, and I think that was the pipe.
That was the pipe. There's been a lot of discussion here lately if that's a shot on goal because it hit the goal. Why would it be a shot on goal or a save, shot on goal that didn't go in? But then I guess that goes into your definition of shot on goal.
I could see it either way. I mean, he's a big goalie, which means you have to shoot for the corners. And if he's not standing in there, you throw it right down the middle. But he is, so you have to shoot for the corners. So does his presence make it a save alone? Jacob Martin working on the inside.
Back to Locklear at X. Locklear is dynamic.
He's really got some moves back there.
Looking to carry his man topside. They slide. Now you got to attack rotation.
And it looks like they had something going there, but couldn't complete that pass.
That pass to X was really important. State getting into their ride. They move it to the big guy.
And they'll try to double in the middle again. He runs right through it. Great job by SMU moving the ball.
Cordell looks to shoot through his man. Deflected. Was that a save?
I say yes.
I would agree. He soaked it.
I've seen enough people to duck to know the difference.
SMU, first settled offensive possession in a while. For Texas State, they are looking to slide and rotate. SMU having trouble initially there because they're looking to get it to the guy. Oh,
Ooh.
man.
They're going to say it was loose. And he got bailed out there because he was in a very tough spot in between two SMU defenders.
So this is what I was excited to see in terms of SMU's offense against Texas State's defense. SMU, oh, here comes Texas State bearing down.
Ooh,
big
another
save.
by Connolly.
Gonna have to move him.
Yep, that's just too easy for him.
SMU attacking the transition opportunity. Texas State able to get inside out. So yesterday, SMU had some success, well, a lot of success, beating their man topside. Texas State's defense predicated on taking away topside and then sending the slide.
It's interesting to watch SMU dodge. They don't do a lot of moves. They really just kind of put their shoulder down and pick which way they're going and insert their will on the game.
That was another one. Again, took away topside on Schultz. He went inside roll. Slide is there, ready. Bang. Texas State defense playing well. Offensively going to have to finish. Going to have to score more than a goal.
Cantrell goes one-handed around the side. Big save by Anderson. Can't find it.
Mom goal.
That looks like interference. We'll see.
Not Mongol from a popular movie. Here we go. 3 guys down. Hit him with the okie doke. Olay. Here's Ford. Maybe this cheer can infuse some offensive firepower for the Cats. What happened there?
Not positive. Maybe they didn't get in the box.
Bad turnover. SMU looking to push in transition, and they give it right back.
Pass.
So we saw SMU score a lot early on. Here's another break here for State. They've got the 5-on-4 behind them.
What we got here? Couldn't have been offsides. I see 3 back. That was an interesting one, and our game's gone a little helter-skelter here. It's about the 4th turnover we've seen in the last 30 seconds.
Gets it over the top to Desidier, to Pac-Man Jones. Jones never seen a shot he didn't like.
Nah, he's a lefty. He's ready to shoot.
Coach K saw the look in his eye.
Great timeout by Coach K, because that was just another save and another break for Connolly.
Coach Lynch has his guys going early and often, scoring buckets. But the game is kind of tightened up here as of late. The Cats playing good defense. SMU, a little haphazard with the ball. SMU, though, doing what they needed to early to make the plays to finish to get out to this 3-1 advantage.
Yeah, they're up in the goal count, and the shots are getting more quality, too. Texas State right now is really settling for a lot of outside stuff, and they're getting some good possessions, but with this goalie, they're going to need to either get inside or make a move right before they take the shot, because right now, shooting on the run with the guy in your hip, it's just not working for them.
Number 9 for SMU's Cooper Johnson. Heads up. Koopaloop. State timeout. Here's Bucky Desidier with the ball. Desidier gonna have to get it going a little bit.
Yeah, he's going to draw a pole all day, but that doesn't matter. He's a good enough player to where he should be dodging anyone who's guarding him.
What's really pretty unbelievable about Connolly is his ability to make saves on bounce shots with his body. I mean, time and time again, the stick goes down, but he finds the ball with his shoulder a ton.
Yeah, he's a big guy. And what's more impressive is that he doesn't give up a lot of rebounds. Usually when you're making a lot of body saves, it's really tough to catch it as well, but he controls it and then starts to break for him.
He's really been up to the task today.
Oh, another save by Anderson. We got a battle of the goalies here.
It's literally a goalie war. They might as well just move the goals 20 yards apart from each other and have them throw the ball at each other back and forth. They're doing a lot of the heavy lifting for both teams right now.
They really are. Texas State pressing to get it in the box again.
Brian Wynn, he's a big target. Here's Chandler Locklear. Locklear's had some success dodging so far in this game. They look to attack from behind, pass down, pick down. Desidier gets topside.
Save, great save by Connolly.
They go low to low. Connolly again up to the task. He looks to teardrop this one over the top to Alsadek. Alsadek steps over. They're on sides. This is where State's looking to apply some pressure. GB stats, padding him. 11 picks it up. Thomas Garrett. He's an X factor. Here's Schultz, 15. They swing it around the top. Back over to the big boy, William Moorhead. Now here they take away topside, slide, rotate, recover.
This was the one they wanted. Oh, it's a great look and a big drop right there.
State did a bad job there recovering. Oh, what a play.
And a great heads-up play by Schultz right there. Looked like State had an easy clear, and he made a nice pick and a great finish.
Schultz with the hat trick.
Oh, that's early.
That is early. Bucky Desidier look to move the ball back to their goalie, A.J. Anderson. Schultz lurking behind. And SMU gets their first goal in roughly, I would say, 15 minutes.
And that's an extremely costly one to give up. Right now, neither team's getting goals easily. So for Texas State to get a stop and then throw an assist to the other team, it's got to hurt.
Agreed. Here's Weir. They got the long stick on him.
Texas State's able to push. He's probably going to shoot this. Oh, big shot. Big shot. And it looked like Connolly was tracking that one too, and it barely slipped by him, but that's just the momentum break they might have needed.
Elliott Smith turns around and brings it right back to a 2-goal deficit.
And that's going to be huge for their confidence. 'Cause sometimes when you're playing against a goalie and he gets on a little bit of a run, you start wondering if you can score on this guy. But when you see him let one in like that, you get a little more confidence, and sometimes just seeing it goes in makes it more possible.
Here's Weir facing off again. They're going back with the short stick. They're throwing all kinds of looks at him. He's been dominant so far.
And he wins it to himself. Great heads-up play to keep possession instead of running to a pile of people there.
Texas State, again, contrasting styles. State looking to possess, get the look that they want. SMU converting in transition, other opportunities. Here's the big boy Ford, unable to corral that one.
Tough drop right there. Looked like he was already thinking about shooting. Connolly with the heads-up play there. Great feed.
I feel like their players just run to the corners of the boxes because they know that he's just going to hit them open over the top.
Yeah. They don't come back for him. They just keep going.
Coach Carl Lynch doing a great job with his goalie. Gives him special attention before the games. They work on those outlet passes, nice touch passes over the top. And again, they're paying off.
SMU got an advantage here.
That hit the pipe.
That one had a lot of heat on it too.
Yeah.
I'm guessing AJ never got a look at that one. He was shooting through a pretty good pile of people.
Here's Schultz on Hamilton.
Schultz wants another one. And they will double. He's able to get rid of it. And that one's just too much.
That one hurt.
Looked like AJ got a piece of that one, but it kept going.
Number 36 from deep. That was a nice bounce shot. Had some pace on it. That is Tyler Happ. 5-2. SMU, that was really their first possessed goal.
And it was a good possession. They got a nice dodge at X, drew the double team, feed the skip for the shooter, and the shooter's able to finish.
Again, yeah, go ahead.
Tough break for AJ there. He looked like he was all on it, and you know, unlike Connolly, he doesn't want to make most saves with his body. He's got really good hands. He's a smaller guy. He wants to get his hands on the ball. So right there, that's a tough break for him. He moved his body in position. Ball went in anyways.
That's a face-off win that
will lead to a 5-on-4 for SMU, and they're not able to take advantage.
That was a possession. We talk about possession. Ball's right there. Missed the ground ball. Possession goes the other way.
And SMU made a heck of a play to keep it in bounds.
SMU in the driver's seat right now, up 5-2. Lots of offense, demonstrating their ability to finish the ball. Watching them shoot before the game, they got strong people out there. And, I mean, they just absolutely yoke the ball at the goal.
Yeah, they've got size on both sides of the ball.
That's a Ward.
Yep.
Playing with that free hand. Good defense there.
Solid stiff arm. Just too bad that's not legal.
That's a ill-advised turnover right there.
Yeah, they got a break. And it looks like we'll get a push in the back. So maybe they will retain.
Cole Ogden with a nice GB there. Texas State, again yesterday, getting opportunities, not able to finish. Apparently they were 2 for 23 in the first half, which was 8% shooting, which is kind of tough. Similar type outing today so far in the first half, 4:14 left in the first half. What adjustments does SMU need to make on defense, if anything?
Well, I think they're doing what they want to do. They're really dominating the defense attack matchups. The Texas State Bobcats don't look like they really want to dodge against these poles. And additionally, they're keeping most of the shots from the outside. Texas State is getting a lot of shots, but they know they've got a good goalie, and they're leaning on him. They're hoping he can bring them to the promised land, and so far he has.
He's playing like an MVP. Again, Sticks Up Productions, Anthony Crimmins, Mike Galvin. We just want to thank our sponsors for allowing us to be here. Obviously, the LoneStar Alliance and the MCLA, tremendous partners in this live streaming venture. This has been our first year of LSA coverage, and we couldn't be more excited. St. Mary's Hall, tremendous venue here, nestled in the oak trees and the moss balls. And then, of course, we've got Lax Kong, Bridge Lacrosse, and a variety of other folks that we'll get to here in just a little bit. But the action's back. State with the ball. State trying to manufacture some offense. Moving the ball around the horn. Locklear to Desidier. These are two freshman middies.
And they're taking their time on this possession. I think they really want to make sure they get a good look.
Little pass down, pick down. Oh, shot, and Bucky gets one.
And I think Coach Saunders knew that he really just needed to give Bucky a chance to get his hands free. They're doing a good job keeping a pull on him, making him work off ball. So I think what they set up there is basically toss it to Bucky, go pick his man, tell him if you get some space, let it go. And that was one of the rare misses for Connolly.
Shot the ball right around that screen, maybe gave him a little bit of help on that, and it's 5-3. This game is going to stay tight the whole time. SMU scoring goals. Texas State playing good defense. Texas State getting possessions. Connolly making saves. Go ahead and settle in for what looks to be a tremendous LSA championship game. Here's the face-off again. Weir has been consistent at the X. SMU applying pressure to the ground ball. They're swarming it.
And really great effort by them to come up with it there. It looked like Weir had controlled it right away.
Looked like Texas State had some opportunities to pick up the GB a couple times, but number 17 for SMU, Riley Hudak, just applying tons of pressure. Here comes probably my favorite player at the tournament right now, 11.
Oh, wow. Great shot by Garrett Cantrell right there. And I don't think that pass was intended for him, but it sure did bounce to him at the right time.
To win championships, you have to take care of your opportunities, convert, and get a little luck. Right now, I would say offensively, SMU is getting some bounces, right? Dodged. Through look, probably thrown to the crease guy, trickled through to that attackman. Picked the ball up, stung it. First goal. Takeaway top side. Send the double. Split the double. Goal. Man up. Rotation. Ball on the ground. SMU gets the ball. Move it. Goal.
And Weir with the break. Texas State with an opportunity. Connolly saves. Probably going to want to get more angle on that shot.
I mean, that's 5 yards, and you just juiced it high to high.
Yeah, it's certainly not going to shoot it through him. SMU looked like they might have been off.
That's what they said.
And they will call it. Texas State wastes no time. Maybe gets an easy one, but nothing is easy.
It's off
today.
the woodwork. And right now those shots are dropping for SMU. And for Texas State, they are not. And here's a timeout. Timeout SMU. 6-3. 2 minutes left here in the first half. SMU applying pressure offensively and converting.
And they caught a huge break right there because it looked like Texas State was going to pick up an easy one. And for them to hit the pipe after all the saves that Connolly make is huge for them. I think at this point they'll be happy to go into the half with the 3-goal lead.
3 goals is a lot of goals when you got Connolly in cage, the MVP of the league, both defensive and overall. SMU doing well in that department. Offensive MVP was Nicholas Schultz this year, and Coach of the Year was Carl Lynch. They're undefeated right now, and they're looking like an undefeated type team, not necessarily possessing the ball, having it a ton of time, but when you have Connolly taking them off the page, and then this group with tremendous firepower down low, you can withstand a lot.
Yeah, and you would expect Texas State to be the favorite, being the defending champs, but truth is, to the victor goes the spoils, and until someone beats SMU and we actually see them lose, they're going to be the favorite and the team that we want to see someone take down.
Lots of time. Lots of time. These games are very long here at the LSA, MCLA level. Here's the big boy, William Moorhead. Swings it over the top to Thomas Garrett.
And he's going to look to stay lefty here.
Thomas Garrett does a great job. He's going to look to...
That's going to be a little high.
This is...
Texas State will not wait. They want to press right away, see if they can catch him on a sub.
They do a good job of throwing the ball up the field.
Yeah, and they pick it up and really run to the ball.
That was a big penalty.
Really was. I think he's going to be locked in for a minute.
1:26 left here in the first half. LSA Championships, SMU playing well early. Have a commanding 3-goal lead. They've had a 3-goal lead for most of the game. They kind of got it going early on, finishing on several offensive opportunities. Since then, they've scored timely goals to stop Texas State runs.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do here. This is the time of year where you don't worry about showing your hand. You practice things all year and don't do them, and you do them for these moments right here. Looks like they'll get their hands free on the wheel. Garrett Ford calling for the ball, ready to shoot, and high to high.
Newsflash. Tough to beat him high to high.
He's a big guy.
If you do beat him high to high, you might beat him once high to high. But then again, you say, Coach, can you beat him low to low? Gonna be tough. What about the bounce shot? You're really gonna have to move him off his moorings. You're gonna have to move him.
Yeah, something we saw Texas A&M have a lot of success with was shooting through screens. He's a great goalie, but he's gonna have a tough time saving what he can't see.
Timeout. Timeout, 32 seconds left. SMU defense doesn't even come off the field. They just hang out with their MVP goalie. Pretty interesting. Right now, SMU on offense, they call a timeout. They're man down. We're probably going to see 2 poles jump out there on ball for Texas State. If you're going to pick 2 poles, who do you have on ball?
I'd probably go Zoda and Jaham, both 2 big physical defenders who can hold their side. We've seen them mess up on a double team once before, but those are really 2 of their best defenders, so they're going to have to count on them to make some plays.
SMU making the plays they have to make here. Texas State trying to get their way back into it. The defending champs down 3 in the first half. Early on, we saw ULL defeat UTD for the D2 championship. It was a awesome game. Smart move here by Coach Lynch. They throw Cam Farr out there at the midfield.
Yeah, I think very telling for what they're trying to accomplish here.
Truck stick by Moorhead. They move it to far back to Moorhead. Moorhead steps in.
Great pick.
Big play there by Jake Hamilton. Ham moves it up the side. There's
got 10
7 seconds left.
We'll have to go fast.
Gonna have to throw the ball up the field.
Interesting.
6-3 at the half. Anthony Crimmins, Mike Galvin here, Stickstar Productions. We're going to go get some water, and we'll be right back.
Here we go.
There's so many people who have done so many great things selflessly for our country.
When we see these men and women coming back with no arms, legs, or they have psychological issues, we have to stand behind them.
Shootout for Soldiers is something that we're very proud to be associated with.
You'll have 10 to 15,000 fans circulate through over the 24 hours.
Lacrosse is exploding nationwide.
It gets better and better every year, so the more people that come out, the better it's going to be.
This event is about using lacrosse as a platform to connect people and connect veterans in the community.
These men and women have served our country proudly for many years, and we try to do what we can to give back to them.
An event like this creates very, very strong awareness, very tangible interaction with veterans.
This is a good way for the girls to learn about why they have the freedoms that they have and to give back to the people that give so much to them.
I don't think most of us really understand the mental trauma and physical trauma that a lot of our veterans go through, and I think it's very important that we recognize them and support them 100%.
Shootout for Soldiers, since it started in 2012, has raised over $350,000 exclusively for Wounded Warrior Project. That is a massive impact, so we couldn't be happier to be a part of this event.
94 cents of every dollar we received from this event went straight to service members.
Just finished 24 hours. I think I checked and we raised $65,490.
We both played in the first game to kick off the 24-hour game. We got to stand together at the opening ceremony.
I've just been blessed. At my age of 57, I can still get up and run up down this field with some of the young guys.
The level of play is it's extremely competitive. It's clean, it's hard fought, but it's competitive.
Stay tight, go, go, go! We're out there having fun. Everybody's laughing when we're hitting. Good time.
It was certainly an honor just to be on the field with those guys.
It's really a way to spend time with my dad and to give back to the country and all the troops who have served and even the ones who have fallen for us.
The military is very strong in our family, and it's something that I hope my family will keep doing.
My daughter is a pilot in the Air Force, and we just want to support the military and all they do. We know the things that they give up.
I think it's a great cause just to give back to everyone who gave to us.
Why wouldn't you want to volunteer your time to the people that fight for our freedom in this country to enable us to play this great game?
Veterans need support, encouragement, positive opportunities for them to get together and engage with the community. Events like this give us something to live for, give us something to hope for, give us something on our calendar every year for us to look forward to doing. We really appreciate the opportunity to get out here and to be a part of this.
Yeah, here we go. Time.
I can feel it right here. It's going to happen.
That's what it's all about right there.
Thank you, veterans!
Support those that have supported you.
It only takes 24 hours to make a difference.
Pick up a stick, come play.
Open up your heart. Do some good. Be selfless. In this really selfish world, find a way to do some good. And in some small way, say thank you.
Shootout for soldiers. Soldiers need you. The shootout needs you. Go do it.
Hoorah!
24 hours.
One game, one goal. Support our troops.
Anthony Crimmins here. Mike Galvin. Stick Star Productions, LSA Championships, second half action. SMU up 6-3. What are the coaches talking about at halftime there?
Well, I think Coach Saunders is probably talking about getting more quality looks or getting more out of their looks because they've had a couple good opportunities and they're just kind of throwing it into the goalie's stick, and he's the MVP, Connolly is, and so we're going to have to make him work more than that. Defensively, he's got to be pretty happy with what they've given up so far. Had a couple fluke goals off of bad bounces, nothing you can do about that. And 6 goals, truthfully, isn't that bad, but they're going to have to find a way to put the ball in the net.
It's going to be...
And Weir looked like he had that one. We're going to play on, and I think this is going State's way. That looks like an early release to me. I believe, oh, there we go. And Edge will bring it up.
SMU concedes that. Here's Desidier.
We've still only seen Bucky take 2 shots, and he's 1 of 2, so I imagine a point of emphasis for them is going to be not only getting him the ball, but getting him in a place where he can finish.
Texas State possessing. Again, they had a tough time scoring in the first half versus LSU. Started to get loose in the second half. Here's pass down, pick down.
And a nice move to get topside there. He's not done.
Lucky they didn't get the Ward call.
Finds a skip and a shot. Connolly's there for it. Oh, and that would have been a good one to finish.
That's the garbage. That's the garbage goals that they need to get. SMU, the bounces have been going their way on some of those, and they've been catching and finishing, whereas that may have been Texas State's opportunity to get one. Here's Locklear again initiating from down low. Leans on his man, bounces, draws the slide, moves the ball upfield. It's a race.
It's going to go over.
Over and back. Turnover.
Zoto will look to get on his hands. And gets a great lift check in there to turn the ball over.
Locklear moves the ball back to Anderson. That's a caused turnover right there. Locklear's open if he just turns around.
Yeah, and a really great job by Zoto right there. He's kind of out there on an island. He didn't have to go after him, but he saw an opportunity, took advantage. Oh, great give and go. Oh.
He literally could have just kept working all the way across the middle, shuffled right across.
Yeah. That's another opportunity they're going to wish they had taken advantage of.
Not for lack of getting opportunities. Right now, it's all a function of converting.
That's right. Texas State's actually taking more shots than SMU at this point. It's just a matter of finding a way to get it in.
Cam Farr laying the lumber.
Good find on the crease, and they finish. That's Adam Pac-Man Jones right there.
From Dylan Lemon.
So you've got to squeeze the lemon.
That's a good finish and find. Why is that good? Well, Connolly is facing the other direction. Move the ball over the top, has to turn around. Get set. Now make a save. Ball in and out of the stick. Conversion. Bobcats.
He's a big goalie, so the more you can make him move his feet, the better. We saw A&M have a lot of success attacking from X and either finishing or feeding to the crease. So I'd look for Texas State to see some more of that.
6-4. Weir moves it forward. Another GB scrap here. Texas State ball.
And we'll get a violation on SMU. I'm not sure what that was.
Continuation. Ball goes back to State. In terms of possession time, what do you think it looks like right now?
You know, I think Texas State's probably winning that battle, mainly because of the work they've done on the faceoff.
60-40, 65-35. I don't think it's 50-50 at this point.
And they'll look to attack from X again.
Dodge hard underneath. Move the ball over the top. 18. Elliott Smith. Oh,
And
baseball swing.
Oh, that looks like another one. And the ball will roll to SMU, but he felt that one. He earned every bit of both of those penalties. And usually right after you get a penalty is a bad time to throw another baseball swing. They're looking at you right then and there.
That's a bad penalty. I mean, the first one, okay, but then the second one, I don't know if that's what you're trying to do.
Yeah, he was really asking for that one.
They're going 2-man down.
It's good to see Elliott Smith staying on the field. Soldiers do that.
This is a big opportunity right here for Texas State. 2 men up, down 2, to cut this to the smallest lead in a considerable amount of time.
If I'm Texas State here, I'm doing my best to be as patient as possible. Really see if we can get something inside. And Smith drops a feed.
Big GB.
And SMU comes up with it.
Here's Cole Ogden. Oh no.
Texas State will give chase, but he's too fast. And SMU turns it over.
Wow, big turnover.
Big
Bucky
break for the
Desidier.
Bobcats.
Bucky Desidier looking like he's favoring his arm.
That is certainly not good for a team that's looking for some scoring.
They move it to Zoda. Zoda moves it up the field.
And they are 2-man up right now, so they really need to get a good look here. First man gets ready to release.
They do a good job getting out to the shooting spot there.
And we are all even again. SMU able to get something on the feed. Big ground ball battle in the middle of the field. And SMU will come up with it. But another errant pass. And we've got Bobcat ball.
Possession time, possession, extra chance opportunities. Here's another opportunity.
He's going to the rack.
Draws a penalty, looks to get under. That's a good job.
Really smart play by him right there. Just by being physical and aggressive and getting to the hoop, he's putting it on the ref to either make a call or hear it from the fans.
Locklear puts the ball on the ground. The flash, number 13, doing a great job. Caleb Brooks. He's got great feet. Texas State going to need to convert here on man up.
Yeah, they really didn't even get a shot on Cage on that last possession, so I imagine they're going to try to switch it up a little bit.
6-4, 10 minutes left. Bucky Desidier still out. Didn't look good initially how he went down. He's getting looked at over there on the sidelines. He's a senior, last game. State going man up. Ball on the turf carpet. Said a little bit of both there. I zigged when I should have zagged. Tarpit.
And Texas State not getting a ton of movement here. SMU's doing a really good job of holding in and not letting Texas State draw them out too far.
They had a look, they missed
and
it.
He settles.
Cue the Star Wars photon, Star Trek photon torpedo noise.
That was the shooting accuracy of a stormtrooper right there. Oh, good save.
Off his grill. Alsadek with a ridiculous check. That kid, man, he is a kid that you want on your team and have no desire to play against ever.
And Texas State keeps shooting.
Because he's 6'2", 6'3", just rangy and just mean.
Not afraid to deliver a good hit. Oh, and there's too much on that pass. Texas State will need to drop quick or they will have a fast break.
Who are we throwing that to?
You know, that's just too much for anybody. And he just walks in. Great save by Anderson.
So, sports fans out there, oh, get out of here.
Nice behind the back.
Get out of here. So, for the kiddies at home, getting to see some pretty cool things happening. First of all, SMU comes down, fakes his way to the middle, throws a fake, keeps the guy there, right? Continues to move in. Then, after he fakes his way in, didn't really move the goalie. Anderson waited on the first fake. Guy tried to just fake up, shot at the goalie's feet. After that, Zoda escape moves, box fake. BTB flavor. And Texas State settles into an offensive possession.
That's right. Not a lot of long poles have the kind of handles to confidently throw a behind-the-back pass in a championship game. And that's one of those ones, if it works, you look great. And if it doesn't, the whole team's looking at you saying, what are you doing?
Here's Locklear again.
And he's looking for a hold.
Caleb Brooks giving him the Louisville Slugger treatment. They're going to call that a moving pick.
Yeah, he moved a little bit at the end. And Adam Jones is going to want to be careful then. He almost got another delay of game. Rolling the ball backwards at all is a big risk.
Here's Caleb Brooks.
That looked like a stiff arm, but he'll keep playing. Texas State will look to pressure. Moorhead will retain possession.
The big boy, Moorhead.
Yeah, that matchup looks like trouble. I imagine they'll want to keep a pole there.
SMU really hasn't enjoyed a whole lot of offensive possession here in the second half. They get it to Cantrell. Cantrell over the top to
John Merrifield.
They look inside.
And it's not there, but they catch the bounce, and Anderson is ready. I think someone got a check on that shot at the end, which is a good thing because it was looking like SMU was about to come up on another opportune ground ball.
So right now, if you are Texas State, you can't say that it's been for lack of opportunities. You've had your fair share of man up. Off of White.
And we got lucky there.
That was a gift. And they get a touch, just barely.
SMU's been doing a good job pressuring in between the boxes.
Here's Martin. Martin to Hanner. Hanner to Ford. Over to the younger Desidier brother. Looks like Bucky's collected his things on the side.
And they quickly send a pull at him.
This is Alsadek. He's a freshman. That's freshman on freshman. Those are big people.
Great save by Connolly.
Twister didn't go. Here's Cam Fart. Whammy, turned him all around.
Yep, had the whole field looking the other way. State able to match up.
In the crease.
Ooh.
Another possession.
Big mistake.
Transition.
State might turn it into an easy one. If he can handle. And a great finish by Jacob Martin.
So, coaching point, this is why you throw the ball up the field, okay? A lot of people like to run the ball up the field. You throw it up the field because now it reduces the amount of players. If you do have any advantage, you're going to see that advantage immediately. Boom. Move the ball up the field, press, see if you got a 2-on-1. They did. Jacob Martin, bucket. 6-5.
Texas State really did a good job of sprinting to that ball. As soon as they heard they were turning it over for a violation, they were ready to get up and out. SMU's looking around trying to figure out what's going on, and they're already running down the field pushing a break.
Texas State clawing their way back into this. SMU, have they been able to finish here lately? Not as many opportunities. The opportunities that they've had were 50-50 opportunities. Here's Blake Weir looking to win the faceoff. SMU actually controlled that one. Zane Zoda giving the club in a one-handed GB. Blake Weir looking to get underneath. Back cut. That would have set the whole place on fire.
Really a great idea.
Some pretty tough angles at work there.
They really were.
And it's tough. You can't really throw a touch pass there. And there's the ball going out of bounds. Another failed clear. So possession time is now really starting to add up.
It is, and we've seen Connolly make a ton of saves, but any goalie knows that eventually one's going to go in. And pressure comes. How will he handle it?
Ball's on the ground. Big ground ball.
And J-Ham coming up with it and pushing the break.
They got numbers.
He's not afraid to shoot either.
Timeout.
Great timeout by Coach Saunders there. I think he recognized this is a good opportunity for them to really steal the momentum of this game. SMU's been playing at the pace they want to. And we've got a little extracurricular chatter. My guess is these guys are just getting to know each other a little bit.
When you're dancing, you're feeling your partner out.
Hey,
what do their footwork look like? Yeah, hey, how you doing?
Yeah, what are you into?
Yeah. Me? I'm a salsa guy.
Yeah.
My hips, a lot of movement. You know? SMU, I feel like they're salsa guys. Texas State, I think that they're, maybe a little slower pace.
Yeah, I think we're two-step, a little more deliberate.
Yeah.
Maybe not the prettiest thing you've ever seen, but gets the job done.
That's right. SMU still in the driver's seat, 6-5. Been up for a while. Texas State trying to claw their way back because they're Bobcats, so they'd be clawing, right?
That's right.
And Bucky Desidier throwing the ball around on the sideline. Connolly been up to the task. This is, when I think about this game, I think about, initially the first thing that I talked about was the style of offense that SMU likes to play versus the style of defense that Texas State likes to play. SMU, they like to attack their initial matchup, and then they like to move the ball to the crease or to whoever the guy slid from. Well, quality teams are going to have a two-slide, right? They're not going to just have a one-slide and not a two-slide. That's a difference, I think, in Texas State's defensive execution. Credit first-year defensive coordinator Patrick Franklin. SMU on defense. Here's Chandler Locklear.
He's got both short sticks behind.
Double invert. Weird. They sling the ball over the top.
And they'll send an early double, or they'll try to get that pole out there.
That was a big, scary pole to have running at you.
Yeah, I'm moving the ball too.
Yeah. So now they're going to try and play the game. Me as an offensive coach, I like it when teams try to play this game. The switch out game. Because who's dictating that? I'm dictating that as the offensive coach, as the offensive team. They're responding to what I'm doing.
That's right. You always want to be proactive and reactive, really dictating your terms onto the other team.
Here's Adam Pac-Man Jones bearing down again. He's never seen a shot. Never seen a shot he didn't like. Number 41. But neither is Dirk. I mean, Dirk loves to shoot the ball all the time. Here they go. They're attacking the short sticks. They threw the timer on. First timer on we've seen today. Leaning on him. Gets under. Big save by Connolly.
Coming out of that inside roll, you're going to want to not come out straight up high.
Now, here we go. Let's clear the ball. The adventure continues. Back over the top.
Risky pass.
Hey, thank you.
A lot of swings being taken, but the refs are holding on to the flag. And Texas State will play more offense.
So the ride really factoring into play here.
Pac-Man shoots it righty. And they get the backup.
I mean, have they had the ball this whole quarter?
It really seems that way if they haven't. I don't believe, other than that one fast break that SMU had, that they've taken a shot at all. So State will look to push from X.
They had a step.
And that bobbled pass really cost them right there.
Drew the slide, moved the ball through X, unable to handle it. Had him guessing. He thought that ball was going down. That ball stayed up.
And he did a good job of getting the top side and getting his hands free there.
So are we starting to see some fatigue?
I think possibly.
I think both teams, like you said, played very difficult games yesterday. And now they are, working through this one. Here's Brooks, transition.
Break.
I love his flash cleaves. I think that's, appropriate.
Yeah, he's played true to him. He's showing some speed on the field.
So, SMU gets their first possession in a while. Still up a goal. Texas State been clawing at it. SMU still a commanding lead. Bucket. Here's Moorhead. Moorhead goes. Texas State slide is late.
He's going to look to redodge here.
They move the ball through X. Here's Jake Hamilton on Schultz. Looking to force him underneath. They move it inside.
Crease and big save. Really great job by Anderson there.
Got to clear the ball the first time. Big defensive play there by Anderson.
Soto will look to pressure right away. Another big save by Anderson. Wasn't sure where the ball was at first.
Do you like that shot?
I don't. We've seen Texas State take a couple low-angle shots on Connolly, and it just doesn't make any sense because he's so big. Even with Anderson, looking to make more saves with his stick, he had that one locked up, and basically that shot was only going in if he stepped out of the way.
Got to clear the ball the first time. What happened there? End of the quarter.
Yeah.
End of the quarter. 10-4 shots in that quarter. Yeah, 10-4 shooting, and SMU just took 2 shots there as time was expiring. Me personally, I don't like that shot because we haven't had any possession. Okay, we haven't had a lick of possession in that quarter. Let's see if we can get one that we want. Now, the way that Texas State is playing defense kind of counteracts what SMU likes to do on offense, and it's forcing them into these tough shots.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think the pressure's getting to them a little bit now. And, sometimes when you're an offensive player and you don't see the ball for 4 or 5 minutes, you really start pressing a little bit too much when you do get the ball. You start thinking, oh, gosh, we haven't had the ball in forever. We really need to go to the cage right away. We really need to get a shot. And you end up forcing yourself into some bad decisions, and we saw one right there. And Anderson isn't the type of goalie where you can just toss it at him and hope it goes in. You really need to manufacture a good look.
Absolutely. And that one that he took off the board there, that is one that SMU has been scoring. Mm-hmm. That's one where, hey, it hasn't really gone SMU's way offensively here, because initially their first 3 goals were probably in the first 2 minutes of the game. So since the first 2 or 3 minutes of the game, they've only really scored 3 goals moving forward. Mm-hmm. But that was one that, hey, they get, right?
That's right.
They haven't been doing it, but boom, the ball goes their way. They catch the ball in the crease, they bang it. That's A.J. Anderson, big save.
And that's why the goalies are the ultimate X factor. You can move the ball all you want, have great dodgers, but he can literally take one off the board. Shot that they wanted, shot that they were looking for, and he goes up and meets the guy right in his face.
Both teams have to feel pretty good about where they're at. SMU, obviously, undefeated this year. They've been winning a lot. They want to be winning by a goal heading into the 4th quarter of the LSA championship. Texas State, they understand how to kind of play this role, this underdog role, even though they're the defending champs. And they've been down by several.
Pressure here. SMU is still yet to get it in the box.
Oh, and that's a big, big, big misplay.
Oh, and a big goal for SMU there.
That's Schultz with his 4th. And that is An assist from Cantrell.
And that's the risk you take when you're really looking to press out and pressure. You know, you miss one picked pass and it turns into a 2-on-1 going the other way. Give Cantrell for making the right play there, really drawing and dumping.
That is, and that's one of those goals. Like we just said, 50-50 ground ball, kind of getting some pressure applied to us. And then run through a check, one more, bucket. It just hasn't been that easy for Texas State. They haven't had many of those opportunities. That's a good ride there.
And now SMU will look to pressure off the faceoff. Oh, another bad pass. Schultz finds the open man, and Cantrell finishes. 2 quick goals for the Mustangs.
Cantrell from Schultz. Schultz and Cantrell have been active. That is, right now, Schultz has 1, 2, 3, 4 goals and an assist. Cantrell has 3 goals and an assist. That's a lot of offensive output. That's 2 second chance opportunities right there. SMU gets that lead back out to 3, and they win a big face-off.
And that's 3 face-offs in a row that end with an SMU possession.
And that's important. That had been an advantage so far for State. SMU making the plays they need to when they need to make them to get that lead back out to 3 goals. SMU, their attack unit, Schultz demonstrating why he is the offensive MVP of the league.
Splits the double team and AJ bails him out.
Runs right through the crease.
Yeah.
Schultz right now 4 goals and an assist. Offensive MVP of the conference numbers. Jaham finds Locklear in transition. He's guarded by the freshman Cam Farr. Cam Farr searching for that back wrap. Goes V-hold.
And the refs are letting him play.
State gonna have to speed it up a little bit. Obviously still tons of time, but gonna have to find matchups that they can take advantage of and finish. That's the difference between SMU and State right now. Their offense, they've been able to get it a little easier. Texas State has really had to work hard for their shots.
That's exactly right. SMU's doing a really good job of beating their man on impact and drawing that slide. Right now, SMU's able to stay home a lot more because they're doing a really good job in their individual matchups. And they do draw the slide this time. And not a good pass.
Lazy pass. And here's Ogden. Ogden goes pass down. If I'm SMU, I'm looking to possess a little bit.
Absolutely. This is as big of a lead as they had all day. And for the large amount of the third quarter, they were playing defense, so they'll be more than happy to take some time off of the clock.
If SMU can get a bucket here, it's going to make it tough for State in this fourth quarter.
It really is. They'll have to really change their pace of play and try to speed things up a little more.
They look inside. Once again, forcing the crease.
Hamilton with another big ground ball. Effort to get it up the field by himself. He's got a break if he wants it.
I think they've really got to start to try and take advantage of those.
Working for top side, turns into a turnover. And that's going to be a long trip back for Hamilton.
SMU again going to be happy with trying to take at least a minute off the clock. 10:50, 8-5. Here's Peter Cordill.
He turns inside. Slide comes and they move the ball. And he gets the righty sweep that he's looking for.
They beat him topside. They move it to Cantrell. Cantrell looking to distribute.
He's got one on the crease, but
swing it over the top.
Good save by Anderson. He knows that lefty finish is going for the back post.
How many saves does Anderson have today?
Quite a few. Both of our goalies have been playing well.
That's off of SMU.
And they're going to have to race to keep it in. He does. State gets their subs on. Open look for the cage. And great rebound by Martin.
That was one of the, that's the kind of garbage goal they needed right there. You know, throw it off the goalie, crash the boards, right? Maybe get a little rebound. Connolly does a pretty good job controlling those rebounds. Martin picks it up, puts it right in the goal.
And anyone who's watched some playoff hockey knows that sometimes the best way to beat the goalie is on the second shot, not the first one. Connolly's taking up a huge amount of space and saving most of what comes at him. So Texas State being smart and being opportunistic off of the ground ball.
We're bringing you some pretty exciting theater here, midday theater. Matinee, a little bit later than the matinee. Actually, it's probably about matinee time. We want to thank everybody for tuning in. We're trying to grow the game. We really enjoy this game, lacrosse, and we think that the LSA is a great group. Oh, nice little shovel there.
Yeah, big face-off win. SMU really made them work for that one.
Texas State now a 2-goal deficit. It's just so exciting to watch contrasting styles. SMU taking advantage in transition. State trying to be meticulous and grind it out. Right now, SMU has the advantage. Texas State still looking for it. They got a big one there. The amount of time that State has had the ball versus SMU, but still SMU scoring more opportunities. Such a fascinating game.
Adam Jones pretty close to the cage, ready to shoot. And a tough turnover for the Bobcats.
Unforced turnover. SMU, can they maintain possession? Can they manufacture a quality opportunity in 6-on-6?
Schultz has really been the guy at attack who's been creating opportunities for other guys, and Cantrell has all day.
That's a pretty unbelievable job of moving the goalie right there. Patient, through his hands, stepped up field, finished. That's an excellent finish.
Really was, and you see guys all the time rush it when they don't need to. He had plenty of time, and he used all of it to make sure he got the most out of that opportunity.
Coach Lynch sensing that it's getting close. He's feeling good about it. 8:18 left, 8:16, 9-6, 3-goal lead again.
I'd look for Weir to push forward, try to get a fast break on this one.
You called it.
One more. And SMU does a good job recovering, putting the ball on the ground as well.
Cole Ogden, Highland Park Scott.
Ooh, and that's risky right there.
Cole Ogden's second championship game in a row. He won the ship last year with the Scotties. And now he's playing for another championship.
And that's a big addition to Coach Lynch's team. Those Highland Park players are all very well coached and very smart.
Here's Peter Cordell looking inside, throws his hands, takes care of the ball. SMU taking care of the ball, being methodical. Right now, I would say they probably They would like to score again. There's a turnover.
Check by the Bobcats. Soda comes up with the GB, and they'll look to go the other way.
They've got transition.
Oh, and Martin's got it lefty. Can he finish? We'll elect to take it to X.
State with the ball. Time starting to become an equally important opponent. 7 minutes left. They're down 3. SMU really playing great defense. Connolly has been stellar today in cage for the Cats, or for the Ponies, excuse me. He's tightened up from yesterday. Yesterday was tough, but enough to get the win.
Yeah.
Here's Locklear.
Connolly had a slow start yesterday, but usually goalies of his caliber don't have too bad days.
They're just collapsing on Locklear. They don't move the adjacent guy through, so there was no clear there. They're going to call a loose ball hold.
And SMU has the break.
Alsadek to the rack.
And a great finish by the long pole.
And that's probably going to be the one that, you know, that makes it the largest lead of the game.
And it's one of those ones that really gives a huge shot of adrenaline to your team when your long pole goes coast to coast and finishes. Conversely, for A.J. Anderson, that has to be a very tough one because that's about the last thing you want to see as a goalie is some 6-foot long pole winding up with a head full of steam and finishing there.
From like 8 yards.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, I'm calling slide.
Yeah. 10-6, SMU looking to stay undefeated and head into the MCLA championship.
And they've really shown some composure after having a very tough third quarter.
Here's another transition opportunity. SMU now starting to kind of get loose.
Yeah.
They move it to Cordell. Schultz tells him, slow down, big boy. Right now, up 4. 5 minutes left. Has Coach Lynch won the LSA championship?
You know, I don't believe he has. I know he's been involved for a long time. He's definitely been a big part of developing the league and serving as president at one point. But I do believe this would be his first championship. And another goal.
That's the first time they've dodged down the alley. 1 sec. Sorry, some input there on post-game activities. Right there, that was the first time all game Texas State didn't get a one slide, right? That was the first time. SMU, they've kind of asserted themselves with the possession here in the fourth quarter. They've had the ball a little bit more, and then you give up another one. You give up another. Now it's 4-goal, and now you're kind of pressing, not worrying about the things that you should worry about. Boom. Number 9. That is
Cooper Johnson.
Cooper Johnson, a late addition. Probably not a late addition, just an addition.
Just a little number change.
Probably, oh, look, I fell asleep, and I left my jersey in Dallas.
And that's probably a save you'll see Anderson make about 90% of the time. But that's one of the tough things about playing goalie is the mental fatigue side of it. You know, when you're seeing shot after shot after shot, just to have that level of concentration for 2.5 hours is no easy task.
SMU up 5, roughly 5 minutes left. SMU being defensive on the face-off.
He wins it forward anyways.
Here's Edgerly. He wins the face, or he gets the ground ball.
It's a big win for them. They're really going to need to push the pace here.
State definitely is going to have to push the pace. Here's Martin. They look to initiate from behind. Ogden.
Double right away.
Whack.
And the penalty's down.
Need to get a shot here quickly. You don't want to wait until you get a great opportunity. You need to kind of go right now. Here's Locklear.
And not a
off
bad
the
look.
chest.
Not a bad look for the penalty down.
4:37 left. Texas State down 5. SMU kind of rolling. They've really gotten it going in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, they really score in bunches, and like when we saw them play A&M yesterday, they don't really seem to care too much about slowing it down and taking the clock off. They're looking for more goals.
It was 6-5 at the end of the third quarter, correct?
That is right. Yeah, we were 1-goal game going into the fourth.
6-5 going into the third quarter. Again, in the fourth quarter, SMU going on a 5-goal run, similar to yesterday. It was 12-12, and they, went on a 5-goal run.
Errant pass on the man up. See if they can take advantage of this scramble. And Connolly will collect. Schultz and Hamilton on the wing. And Schultz goes through. He is not done picking up assists today.
Cordell winds up.
An amazing save by Anderson right there offhand.
Schultz got dumped there late. That was the first dumping we've seen of this game. Not a lot of people have gotten dumped late. I mean, people were getting dumped all over the place last game.
Yeah, yesterday I think both of those matches were more of grudge matches. These teams actually haven't played all year, so it took them about 3 quarters to really stop liking each other. And both teams have been pretty disciplined in terms of being smart and not putting themselves in bad positions. SMU's 5-on-5.
SMU's 5-on-5, and they're up by 5 with 11:30. SMU in control of this one. The Ponies, I don't know,
they're man up now, and I would look for them to attack.
Yeah, they would like to score. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, they enjoy shooting. And Anderson getting out and pressuring.
Making the last rotation. Cantrell has been tremendous this game. So is Schultz.
And Edge will go to the other end.
Speaking with Adam Connolly's mother during the Oklahoma versus SMU game that we did during the regular season, she said that her son had only one wish as a senior, and it was to beat Texas State, because SMU just hasn't been able to do it in recent memory, and I think ever in Connolly's career. And it looks like he's probably going to get his wish, and he's earned it.
That is correct. This senior class has never beaten Texas State, and so this is a big moment for them and a big time for them to do it. University of Texas for a long time was sort of lording over this league, and now as we see more parity, more teams are getting opportunities to compete for the championship, and SMU feels like this is their time.
It's kind of looking that way. 2 minutes left, 5-goal deficit. Texas State hasn't been able to get one. Here's Alsadek looking for his second one. He moves it to Cantrell. Cantrell, silky smooth hands, great handle inside. Cordell corrals it, looks inside, rejected. Texas State ball. Right now it's mathematics.
The clock is not on the Bobcats' side. Making matters worse is the man waiting for them in the crease, Adam Connolly.
Yes, he's made it very difficult, and that's another just unforced turnover.
And we've seen an uncharacteristically large amount of those in the fourth quarter for the Bobcats. They did a really good job of maintaining possession and controlling the pace of the game in the third. And those turnovers have led to transition for the Mustangs, and that's exactly how they want to play.
Pony up. Pony up is right. They're ponying up. They're right now a minute away from their first ever. Is it their first ever LSA championship?
I don't know the history well enough. I know it's the first one in a long time if it's not.
SMU trying to cradle the win, baby. They're still slanging it over to Cantrell. Cantrell, he's had a great game. So is Schultz on the offensive side of the field. They did most of the damage. Cantrell with 1, 2, 3, 4. Schultz with 1, 2, 3, 4. Each of them have 4 and 1. Those two offensive guys have 4 and 1. Give the overall MVP to Connolly.
That's exactly right. I mean, any momentum that Texas State was trying to build, he was there waiting and turned away more than once. Speaking of Cantrell and Schultz, that's a lefty-righty combo, freshman and junior, and they'll both be back next year. So teams in this league, they've got their work cut out for them over the offseason.
Cantrell, victory formation.
And that'll do it.
That's all she wrote. Connolly, super jazzed. I like his game. He's good.
He's good, and he's going to give them a chance to compete at the next level. He's going to see a lot of very good shots at the MCLA National Tournament. But this team has been composed. We've seen them go down. We've seen them go on the stretches where they didn't score. And they're able to maintain a high level of consistency throughout the game, and that's what's been most impressive about them.
SMU survives and advances, and they head over to the MCLA tournament. They're going to we're going back to Cali. I'm not going there. I'm staying here. You're not going there. Reggie, you're not going there either. SMU, they're going. They're getting pictures taken. They got to be happy about it. Texas State, they're saying drats.
That's right. SMU's going back to Cali, and hopefully it works out better for them than it did for Biggie.
It's not going to work out well for them. I'm telling you that right now. Because you know who they're drawing? They're drawing Chapman, number 1 seed. Welcome home. That's what Chapman is going to say. But we're going to support SMU all the way because that's what we do here in Texas. We support people who are from Texas because we're Texans. That's what you do. Like, you're a Texan, I'm a Texan, you're going out of the state. We support you because you're Texans.
That's exactly right. And on that note, congrats to Texas State on another very solid season. They've been building consistency throughout the program, and for them to come to 3 straight LSA championships in a row really speaks to the volumes that Coach Saunders has done and Mike Brand before him.
Texas State seniors, they've definitely left the program better than they found it. They've made it to 3 consecutive championship games. That's something that we haven't mentioned this whole weekend. They've won 1 out of 3, you know. What's important is the consistency of making it, right? Yes, do you want to win all of them? Sure. It's hard to win championship games, right? SMU, they got guys.
That's right.
They got guys, and they were able to finish when it mattered. And, you know, the guy in Cage, he did it, and I mean, they're so hype over there. SMU, they're super, super excited, and they should be. I'd just like to thank Mike Galvin for stepping in. This has been his first weekend on the mic, and I was Mike on the mic.
That's right. Mike mic'd up, and thanks for having me. Had a really good time doing this, and thanks for putting this production on. It's great for the game, for everyone to be able to watch, and you know, SMU being a new team winning, they've got a lot of talent to draw from in Dallas, so this will be huge for their program.
First of many times that we'll be on the mic together. We just want to say, from a Stick Star Production standpoint, thank you so much to the LSA for giving us a chance. We were off the mic for a year, you know, other than Stick Star things that we do, where we just manufacture opportunities so that I can get on the mic. Just because I like to do this.
Open up the studio.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So, but the LSA, we went in, asked, hey, can we do this? They said, yes, you won the bid. And now we're trying to do a good job. We're going to do our best to be back next year. We love it. It's a lot of fun. We just want to thank everybody, top to bottom. Great job here at St. Mary's Hall. LSA did a great job. We're going to root on SMU in the championship. Number 11, my man, Thomas Garrett, has the sickest mullet we've seen in a minute.
Right. That's right. Mullet of the day for
That's
sure.
right. All business up front, party in the back. SMU, they've never been to a party. They probably won't party tonight at all.
Nope. Straight to Bible school.
That's right. They're going to take a nap when they get home. Once again, we appreciate everyone. Thank you again, Anthony Crimmins, for Mike Galvin, Stickstar Productions, for our whole crew. Thank you very much. SMU, your LSA D1 champions 2016. We out.
Champions of the night. We are the champions of the night. Yeah. We are the fighting type, the ones that burn so bright. We are the champions of the night. Can't tell if we're dreaming now. We watch as the fire falls down. One thing playing on our minds. Time stops and we don't make a sound. You crave the love I gave and we'll do it again. A cold night getting warmer now. The ground shakes as our love gets loud. I'm ready to